We've got a question last night from one of you asking for clarity on this conviction. A viewer is asking, what is third-degree rape and why didn't he get first degree? We reached out to the National Women's Law Center, and here's what they had to say. Under New York law, the difference is a question of force. First-degree rape in this case would be forced and non-consensual, but the jury found that Weinstein did not use force, so it's a third-degree conviction. Let's answer more quick questions. Today, the CDC warned that a coronavirus outbreak in the U.S. is a matter of when and not if. So the question comes up again, would wearing a surgical mask prevent you from getting infected? A verified team looked into this. The answer, they say, is no. But if you're already sick, it could prevent spreading. So if you don't have any symptoms like coughing, a surgical mask is not going to do anything for you. The CDC's #1 suggestion, wash your hands thoroughly and often, and maybe don't shake people's hands.